want to ask you a question. Why are you being so quiet? Why are you letting your business be the best kept secret in Southern Illinois? If you're like me, you find yourself lying in bed at night, awake, with this feeling. You know that your business has more potential than what the world sees. You know it. You know that you were called to do more, connect more, give more, and if you could just get in front of more people, more times, they would love you. If they had a chance to meet you, you know that they would love what you do. So you're working so hard. You've poured your heart and soul into your business, but instead of thriving, sometimes it feels like you're just treading water. It's time to change that. Let's talk about what's holding you back. Being the best isn't good enough, because if you're not visible, your competition simply wins by default. Marketing has changed. Today, 97% of customers search for you online before they ever call you, before they ever walk in your door, and before they ever buy from you. Which means, I want to say that again, 97%. That's not some of the people, some of the time. That is almost everybody, almost all of the time. And if that doesn't really rock your world about okay, marketing has shifted, it needs to. It needs to give you that gut check that something's holding you back. I have worked with hundreds of business owners over the last decade, and the same 5 problems keep coming up. They're the same 5 problems that almost every business owner I encounter runs into, and I want to run through them today. And I want to share with you how to shift the mindset on them. The number one problem that most business owners run into is they just have a lack of a marketing strategy, right? They don't have a plan. If your brand doesn't have a marketing strategy that reflects that 97%, if you can't tell me specifically, when customers search for you online, what are they finding? What story are you telling? What platforms show up? Then you're missing customers. It's as simple as that. That digital-first mindset is something we've shifted our entire business to help customers get to over the last 3 years. Everything has changed in the post-COVID world. The way people buy, the way people think, the way people shop, everything has shifted. So what you were doing 5 years ago doesn't work today, not even close. And with the way things are changing, the internet, with AI, it's changing faster than ever. So you need to be working harder than ever to keep up with it. Problem number 2 is a broken or an outdated website. Simply put, 47% of users will not wait longer than 2 seconds for your website to load. 2 seconds. That's all you have to capture their attention. If it's not mobile friendly, if it's not easy to navigate, if it doesn't tell your story, if it's not brand consistent, you're missing opportunity. They're slipping through the cracks, right? So, problem number 3, bad or inconsistent branding. The key to building a trustworthy and recognizable brand is being consistent. It's that simple. They have to connect with you and instantly recognize what you do. Great example. How do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know how insane that is, that McDonald's has been able to brand a little sound like that where you automatically just saw a breakfast sandwich in your head? That's amazing. But that's done through the power of consistency. If McDonald's turned off all of their marketing tomorrow, their business wouldn't slow down one bit on the first day. But yet they spend billions of dollars on marketing every single day. Not because you don't know who they are, but because they need to stay in front of you and they need to be recognizable. What if I told you today that if you were just brand consistent across every channel, your business cards, your brochure, your letterhead, your website, your social media, every channel, that your gross revenue could increase by up to 23%. I got a mentor that used to beat this quote into my head, just beat it into my head. A confused customer doesn't buy anything. And if they don't know what you do, and they don't know you carry the product, and they don't know where your price point is, and they don't know what questions you're going to ask them, they don't know where the stuff is in your store, do you think they're going to call and ask? Have you met anyone under the age of 30 lately? They're not picking up that phone for anything. If they can't find it online, they're going somewhere else. It's that simple. Problem number 4. I think every business owner in here recognizes this one. There's not enough time. They're too busy. 64% of business owners say that they handle marketing on their own, which means that as soon as business picks up, marketing takes a back seat. As soon as things fall apart, somebody calls into a shift, you have to hire someone, something happens, marketing goes right out the window. That's really important to recognize because marketing isn't something you do sometimes. Marketing is something you do all of the time to make sure you have customers all of the time. At the end of the day, your marketing budget should be fixed and should be part of what you do. Budget is the other piece, right? Not only just time, but investment. When companies fail to invest in their marketing, they miss out on market growth. And not spending money on marketing can be one of the most expensive things you do in your business. This number shocks most people that I sit down with, right? As a general rule, business-to-business companies typically spend between 2 and 5% of gross revenue on their marketing. Business-to-consumer companies typically spend between 5 and 10% of gross revenue on marketing. I want you to just do the math in your head really quick. Because if you're not even close to that number and you're wondering why it feels like nothing's moving, it's because all of the research backs this up. This isn't one marketing guy's opinion. This is the Small Business Administration. There are dozens and dozens of examples of where these numbers come from. And the funny part is, those are on the low end. Healthcare is like 21%. Jewelry stores are 11% on average. So when you're looking at successful businesses and going, how are they doing that? How are they crushing it? I can pull the statistics of what your industry should be spending on marketing. And the thing is, if you dedicate that money to marketing and you grow, all of your other expenses stay the same. Your rent stays the same. Your payroll stays the same. The only thing that changes when you move your marketing expense up is you have more customers, which makes it a lot easier to afford everything else. And my question to you is, if you don't believe in your business enough to invest in it, how can your customers believe in it enough to find it and to choose it consistently? So when I talk about a digital first brand, the website is the center of absolutely everything. And I'm going to talk about why in just a second. But I want you to think about this. If you go back 20 years and you were going to do a new logo, you put it on your business card, you put it on a brochure, you go put it on a billboard, and you hand it out all over town, right? That was marketing. You go farther back, it was a phone book, something like that. Today, if you do a new logo, the place that people see it is online, on your website. If you spend money on TV ads, or radio ads, or billboard ads, do you think they pull over to the side of the road and write down your phone number off your billboard? You gotta be kidding me, right? They drive right by it, they go, oh, I need to call Jamie. Google, right? If they navigate to your business, what, you think we're still printing out MapQuest directions? You think we're pulling out a paper map to figure out how to get to a place? No, Google. I bet most of you don't have the phone number of almost any business you call saved in your phone because you don't need it. It's always on Google all the time. Like, we don't even know what to do without connection to the internet, right? So I'm going to go to Google, and then I'm going to go, let's say, oh, are they open today? Yes. Do they have what I need? Yes. Do they carry that kind of countertop that I want? Yes. I'm going to their website to find it. The website becomes the center of absolutely everything. Social media, that's wonderful, but it drives them to your website, especially if you're doing your job right. And when I talk about a digital first brand, what I need to get everyone to understand 100% of the time is that there are only 3 types of digital content. There are only 3 that exist. The first kind is influence digital content. Influence digital content simply is content that you can influence, but you can't control. Think about somebody writing a Google review. You can influence it, but you can't make them say nice things about you. Think about somebody posting about your business on social media. Hey, they come out and did pressure washing on my house, and they did a really good job. Man, that's exactly what you want them to say, right? But it doesn't happen every time. When you move into the circle, you have what's called managed content. Managed content is all of the things that you manage but don't own. So that Google local listing, you can update your hours. That Facebook page, you can put something in, but who owns it? Do you own it? Nope. Zuckerberg owns it. That Instagram channel that you're growing, have lots of followers and everybody's interacting, what happens when the algorithm change? Gone. Your traffic's gone overnight. What about TikTok? One day it's here, one day it's not. So if you invest all of your money and time and effort and you never drive anyone to your actual website, you don't own that. When it comes to owned media, there are only 2 types of owned digital media. 2, that's it. Your website and your customer list. Those are the only 2 things you own. So when you invest in marketing and you don't start with your website and your customer list, you're building a house on borrowed land. Something will change, something will shift, and all of a sudden you don't have the ability to communicate with those customers anymore. Your website, you own. You can drive somebody to fill out a contact form, to connect with you, to sign up for your newsletter, to sign up to your mailing list. And then, even if they don't buy from you today, you have an opportunity to sell to them tomorrow. At Alter Ego Marketing, we have award-winning strategy that we sort of focus into 3 main areas. So strategic consulting, that's working with businesses to help them understand what their message is, what they do, and how it's going to help them grow. We work on websites. We build great websites that deliver powerful messages, that tell powerful stories, and move the needle on the business. And we help with content creation, because if you're not telling your story, you have to realize that someone else is holding the pen and writing it for you. We believe that if you bring the vision, we'll bring the plan. Thank you. We focus on clarity first. How do you define your message? What story are you actually trying to tell? What matters to your customers? Then we help you align that strategy with how do you deploy that message? Who are you talking to? How are you telling that story? What platforms are you using? And then we focus on taking that strategy and executing it in a way that moves visitors into actual customers. How do you take those leads and those people that you interact with all the time and convert them to actually pull the trigger and buy? There are 2 paths ahead. You've worked way too hard to just stay stuck. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can keep your marketing budget low. You can keep focused on the things that aren't quite working as well as you want them, and when you have time to focus on them. Or you can make a decision, because you deserve more customers. You deserve more growth. You deserve more impact. And if you'd like to find a strategy that will help you get there, I'd be happy to help. Thanks.